the fake Indian who dreamed of spending nights around the campfire with Graham Platner, having deep romantic tribal conversations, sipping firewater, gazing at the stars. But it looks like that dream is just going to have to wait.
And I said to myself, that's my kind of man. Because that is a man who not only has the values, but a man who believes in accountability. And
oh yeah, Graham definitely believes in accountability, doesn't he, Lizzie? She put out a really odd statement today. It was almost like she didn't want to do it because she didn't want to do it. Just my opinion, but none of these Democrats do. It started with, quote, "Now more than ever, we need leaders in Washington who reflect our values." Really, Liz, reflect our values. But you had no problem with the Nazi tattoo thing for the last 4 months. She went on to say that with, quote, "so much at stake, the best path forward for Graham Platner is to step aside as the Democrat nominee and address these serious allegations outside this Senate race," end quote. No mention of the victims. No mention of the legal ramifications here. A woman just came forward and accused Graham Platner of rape. She sat down with Jake Tapper and told the world that Graham Platner raped her.
Did Graham Platner rape you?
By definition, yes. Absolutely.
Because he had non-consensual sex with you?
Yeah.
Forced himself on you? Mm-hmm. Even after you had told him no and fought him off?
Yeah. He violated multiple layers of consent that night by coming into my home.
So there it is right there. And right now that's just an accusation. But Graham Platner could be arrested. The statute of limitations in Maine is 20 years. This happened in 2021, meaning forget about Graham Platner running for the Senate. He could go to jail. Right now he's running from the law. Seriously. If this were a Republican in Maine, he would already have been arrested, I think. Over the last 24 hours, the list of Democrats calling on Platner to drop out of the race has been amazing, astonishing, but not in a noble way. Not at all. None of these people care about the victims. They know that they've got until 5 p.m. on Monday to get Graham Platner to drop out of the race. Otherwise, they're stuck with Graham Platner on the ballot, and that's why this is happening right now. But none of these people cared when the first woman came forward and accused Graham Platner of abuse back in early June. It was June the 4th. The New York Times even described it as, quote, unsettling behavior. Oh yeah, New York Times, is rape unsettling? We think it is. Congressman Ro Khanna tweeting that I've been very clear that sexual assault or violence against women is a red line. Graham Platner should drop out of the race. I am withdrawing my endorsement. Ro, you flew to Maine to be with Platner after he had already been accused of violence against a woman. You flew up there and did this little thing like 2 weeks ago. So what the hell are you talking about, Ro Khanna, who also we think wants to run for president? Why didn't you care then? That's a legitimate question. Remember this headline last month, why Ro Khanna is standing behind Graham Platner? Look at the date, June 9th. And Graham is doing exactly what Democrats always do right before they end a campaign.
A lot has been said about me today through anonymous allegations, and I thought it was important that you see and hear from me directly.
I wanted to directly address the troubling, serious, and false allegations against me.
These allegations of sexual assault are flat false. They are absolutely false.
Any accusation of non-consensual behavior is categorically false.
They also come on the eve of an election where I have been the frontrunner candidate for governor in California.
Regardless of the inaccuracy of the reporting, but mindful of the political reality it will inflict.
Look at that right there. Two Democrats separated by about a month and a half. Same stupid shirt, same stupid beard, same fake beard. Eric Swalwell, by the way, would drop out of that race 2 days after making that statement. And now they are all piling on. Here is Zohran Mandami. I don't even know why he's weighing in on this. He's a mayor in a different state. But he's calling on Platner to drop out of the race wearing what appears to be his father's jacket.
Given that you have a sort of ascendant role in the Democratic Party, could you talk about the Maine Senate race? Do you think that Graham Platner should drop out of the race?
No, I believe that it's time for him to drop out of the race.
As of tonight, Democrat Senators Chuck Schumer, Kristen Gillibrand, Jeanne Shaheen, Ruben Gallego, Mark Kelly, Martin Heinrich, Adam Schiff, John Ossoff, Raphael Warnock, Tammy Duckworth, John Fetterman, and Cory Booker are all calling on Graham Platner to drop out of the race. Cory Booker, who tweeted, "Enough is enough. Graham Platner needs to step aside. Enough is enough." Enough should have been enough the day you found out that Graham Platner had a Nazi tattoo on his chest for 20 years. But Democrats didn't care because they wanted to retake the Senate. They're going to beat Susan Collins, the Iron Lady of the Senate. And because Democrats don't actually stand for anything anymore, that's why Bernie Sanders waited till 3 p.m. Eastern time today to ask his fellow comrade in arms to step aside. Quote, "I've spoken with Graham Platner about the best path forward for the state of Maine in light of these very serious allegations. I have recommended that he step aside." Nothing else. So Bernie joins multiple members of the Senate and Congress calling on Platner to drop out, and multiple organizations, including the Maine Democrat Party, which is a big deal in Maine, and multiple governors, including Tim Walz, which is just a little weird because over the weekend, Walz pardoned a criminal illegal alien convicted of sexually assaulting a 10-year-old girl multiple times, and now he wants Graham Platner to step down because Platner allegedly sexually assaulted a woman. Think about that. Here's the tweet. "The allegations against Graham Platner are deeply disturbing. He should drop out and make way for a candidate who can defeat Susan Collins." Tim Walz, the same guy who was forced to drop out of his own race in January because of the Somali fraud scandal. Think about these people and the fact that none of them see the irony in any of this.